All right, here we go. So we're doing our best to make sure that it get out there. We're gonna send it to everybody. Uh, Appreciate each and every last one of y'all being here once again. Thank you for joining us here at Couch Sports Podcast. We will be talking NFL today. That's right. We got NFL talks that we'll be talking about. We got a lot going on that I want to get out there to everybody. So, man, y'all just sit back, relax, and enjoy this podcast as we bring it to you. It's your boy here, DH Money the Don. I'm just trying to make sure that everybody get a chance to be in here. Uh, Send it out to everybody and everything. How y'all feeling, man? How y'all coming? I know it's been a minute. Man, I've been trying my best to get in on this. It's been hard doing this work, but y'all know what it is, man. We're gonna make sure that we bring content. Right now, it's just gonna be me. Uh, my co-host is stuck doing some personal things right now. We're gonna say he got a little vacation going on. We'll say that much. All right, we'll leave it at that. Hopefully, I got everybody. If I didn't, man. All right, here we go. Let's get into it, man. Let's get into it. As y'all can see right here on the screen, yo, the schedule release is tomorrow, May 14th. We gonna have the NFL schedule release going on. I don't know about y'all, man, but I'm pretty excited. We got, as y'all can see right here on this picture though, man. Let's really talk about it. You got Miles Garrett, you got JSN, you got Josh Allen, and last but not least, of course, you got the Iceman, Caleb Williams. Let's go, man. My brother 30. What's going on with the dirty 30? How you feeling, man? Hey, listen, man. I'm just saying, y'all see what's going on, right? Y'all see who up there right now, right? Y'all see the Caleb Williams is up there. So I just want y'all to know what's good. Just got off. You just got off work. You just got off work, or you just got off the internet, because you know you. But yeah, as y'all can see it right there, man. Y'all see what's going on. Y'all see what's going on. It's the NFL release. I'm excited about this, man. I don't know about y'all, but I'm real excited about this. Like, come on, man. It's NFL season. It's real NFL season, y'all. Let's get right into it. It's real NFL season. I can't really explain this, man. Like, I've been excited. I've been itching for this. This has been it right here. Like, for real, this is it. I cannot wait. I'm just like, I'm overly excited. Bears Lions Thanksgiving reported. Oh yeah, you already know. We gonna talk about all that. But it's so much like I don't even know. I've been fiending, y'all. Like it's football is all throughout my blood, and without having it, I mean they got the UFL and everything like that, but it ain't nothing like the NFL. Watching them NFL games on Sunday afternoon, for some people it's Sunday morning, some people it's Sunday evening and things. But y'all should already know Thursday night, sometimes Friday night, Saturday night, Sunday night, Monday night. Hey, and this year we're gonna have the very first game when yeah, the very first game of the season will be on a Wednesday. The very first game of the season will be on a Wednesday, y'all. Like, that's another part that's exciting right there. Like, we getting there a little bit early. We getting there a little bit early, y'all. So hope y'all as excited as I am. But let's talk about week 1 on that this Thursday game right here. Week 1, September 13th. It's the Cowboys versus the Giants. I bring this up simply because it's like, man, when you look at it and you look at how the schedule is going on and things like that, a lot of teams have been posting, skivets of, who they're facing and things like that, who they're excited to face and stuff. But if we know the NFL and we see this week 1, we got a inter-division game versus the Cowboys are at the Giants. That's what the game is, right? So if we going based off the history of NFL and how they do, week 1 is pretty much going to be a division week, which you're going to be probably seeing some AFC North, some AFC East probably going to come out and have some games against each other. Um as we see here, week 1, we got the Cowboys and Giants. That does not mean that we're going to be seeing Philly versus the Washington. That might not happen because we have this one here. Plus, that's not really a game that anybody, except for I guess Philly fans or Washington fans, really gonna care to look at. So you just got to look at some of the games. Like it might be we already know when KC and Denver gonna play each other. That's Monday Night Football. So that's the first week, of course. So this is Thursday. So 4 days later, I believe it is. So September 17th is the KC versus Denver. That's the first game against them for them. And once again, that's a division game right there. So that's already 2 that we have right there, division games that we know of. This has already been broadcasting things. So we know that those are going to be division games. So looking into it and going further into it, let's think about who else we could see. Could we see a Tampa Bay and Atlanta for the first week? Or maybe Tampa Bay and Carolina. Either way of those, it could be good. Simply because Atlanta kept Tampa Bay from being in the playoffs. And, the Tampa Bay Carolina one, Carolina made it to the playoffs thanks to Atlanta beating Tampa Bay. So that could be one that we end up seeing right there. That's an NFC South. I doubt that we see the Chicago Bears versus anybody in the division there. If anything, we probably see a Vikings versus a Detroit first week. That could be something for NFC North. I like how that's sounding. As far as AFC South, Houston versus Jacksonville. Mm, Houston versus Indianapolis, maybe. I like that one. I like the Houston versus Indianapolis game, even though I don't think Daniel Jones is back yet. They haven't really put out any reports on that. So, like, you have those that's going on. The Tennessee is not a team that anybody is going to be looking forward to watch. So, I doubt that that's going to be anything like that. Yo, God, welcome, man. So, this is the first week. This is not the very first game. The very first game, though, is a Wednesday game. Well, actually, no, I'm sorry. The very first international game is a Wednesday game. So we'll be looking more into that. Hey, y'all make sure that y'all tune in with us tomorrow as we get the full schedule. The full NFL schedule comes out tomorrow. So we just throwing out the suggestions right now of who it could be, what teams could be facing who and things like that. I mean, everybody keeps saying this, Chicago Bears versus Seattle Seahawks. That's gonna be the first game for both of them week 1. There's been some mock schedule releases, and everybody see the Seahawks and Chicago Bears for that week 1. Uh, I think it might be Seattle and San Fran. I ain't gonna lie. I think it might be Seattle and San Fran. That might be Seattle's first game, and I'll be excited to see that. But who knows? Like I said, we sitting here and we're pretty much, just jumping around. Hopefully, we get some more little skivets. The Chicago Bears have not released anything as far as who they face during what week. Uh, we got more people that saying this for sure that the Bears will be playing Seattle. Like I said, man, I don't know. Looking at this and also knowing that KC gonna be playing Denver, we're looking at a lot of division games happening, man. It's gonna be some division games for the first week. Uh, do I see the Chicago Bears playing the Seahawks the first game? I mean, that's an exciting game, ain't it? That's definitely an exciting game, but I don't see that being the first game of the week. Not for the Bears. Not for Seattle, not for the Bears. I see, like I said, I see Seattle possibly playing San Fran. Once again, that was a game that was like a championship game for them over there. I don't see them playing Rams the first game. That should be the first game. The Rams and the Seahawks, that should be the first game. So, but the possibility of that, which will go to the toughness of the schedule right here, as y'all can see it. Chicago Bears have the toughest schedule. That's right, they have the toughest schedule, followed by Miami, Arizona, Green Bay, KC, New England, Las Vegas. Man, Las Vegas is top 6 in the toughest schedule. Buffalo Bills, LA Chargers, Carolina, Minnesota, the Jets, the Los Angeles Rams. And the only reason the Jets have a tough schedule is because they're going off based off last year's wins and losses. And of course, with them being at them and Las Vegas being at the bottom, of course they would be up at at the top versus the toughest schedule. So, or strength of schedule. So what else we got? We got the Rams, then the Seahawks, got the Denver Broncos, Washington Redskins, New York Giants, San Francisco 49ers, Pittsburgh Steelers, Dallas Cowboys, Tampa Bay Buccaneers, Jacksonville Jaguars, Philadelphia Eagles, Baltimore Ravens, Tennessee Titans, Houston Texans, Detroit Lions, Atlanta Falcons, Indianapolis Colts, Cincinnati Bengals, New Orleans Saints, and last but not least, Cleveland Browns. So, Chicago Bears fans, where y'all at? Where y'all at? Tune in. Hit into it. The toughest schedule. This is the toughest schedule. This y'all can find this on Twitter, NFL's Twitter, NFL.com, NFL Network, all that, everything that has to do with sports and things like that. Y'all can tune into that and pick this same thing up. Look at it yourselves, just in case if y'all see this and be like, "Oh man, I'll look at it later." Of course, that's where y'all can go into. But Chicago Bears have the toughest schedule. I'm really not worried about it. I don't think that we have the toughest schedule though, man. Like, players are lost from every team. Every team loses players. Every team gather players. I don't see this being a very tough schedule for the Bears. But I am expecting the unexpected. Yeah, the Bears definitely got this, man. Like, come on, man. We facing who? Who are we facing? That's all I'm gonna say. Who are we facing? We know we face the Seahawks, but I'm calling them the Who's. We not sitting here going, "Oh, we face this, we face that." Man, who? Man, they gotta face us. That's how I feel. They gotta face us. Everybody know, you're gonna see the Seattle Seahawks, the last year's Super Bowl champions, and this and that. and everybody wants to beat them. Everybody's gunning for them, and this and all that talk that they're gonna be saying there. But at the end of the day, everybody has been talking about the Chicago Bears. When you go across any city and state, it's been talks about the Chicago Bears. They shocked everybody. The records this and the records that. They call them cardiac bears. Oh man, they won't be having this type of success next year. Um, all those interceptions and all of those takeaways that they had, all of that stuff is gone, and don't expect that next year. Y'all hear all the talks. Everybody hear all the talks, but at the end of the day, Kobe Bryant, he's now a Chicago Bear, one of the top fastest safeties in the NFL. Then the rookie Dylan, he's top fastest safety in the NFL. Like, come on, man. All that getting beat, receivers running deep. I don't see that running deep routes. I don't see that happening no more, y'all. I do not see that happening anymore. Like, it's gonna, don't get me wrong though, it's gonna take more than just one game where it just be like everything is right there and it clicks and things. There's gonna be some mishaps, some blown coverages. It's not just gonna be, oh, this guy just got beaten, this and that. It's a blown coverage. That's exactly, we gonna call it what it's gonna be. Cause I don't see these receivers unless it's, uh maybe JJ Jettas. Let's say it right. Maybe Jettas. Jettas might actually, you know, be a threat on it. Y'all know how that go. Jamar Chase. The regular ones, J Mo or St. Brown, those guys might give the problem for the Chicago Bears. But when you look at the schedule, nah, man, they not. Christian Watson, who he's not beating nobody no more. He's not gonna be able to go and have those across the middle 25, 35 yards every play no more. That's over with when it comes to the Chicago Bears, man. They're not facing that no more. Like I said, you still got J Mo, St. Brown. They might have their here and there type plays where a coverage is blown and they get behind the defense. And I'm just being real with it. Like, you got to remember, defense got to click with each other. Kobe Bryant, he is the veteran, so he might not have as much mistakes. But once again, you're being placed into a new system. He should be able to adjust. He's a veteran, so he should be able to pick things up real quick. But I am quite excited for this, man. And speaking of the LA Chargers, I haven't really heard anybody talking about this yet, but they picked up David Njoku. Like, ooh, that's gonna be nasty right there. David Njoku over there in that white, that blue, and that Charger boat. I want to see him, man, going up against KC the way that he was when he was with Cleveland, man. I want to see how that's gonna be. I really want to see how that's gonna be. And then now Justin Herbert, he has somebody where he could throw the ball to. Finally, he got, besides Keenan Allen, he really got somebody he can throw the ball to, and that's gonna be a little bit more consistent. So, that's definitely a shout out for that pickup right there, man. They trying their best to continue to build around him, but let's see where they at, where they ranked at. They're in the top 10 as far as toughest schedule, strength of schedule. They're in the top 10. So they really need that. They definitely need that. Have it that they're gonna be getting them some help over there. Let's see who else we got. Miami got the second toughest, y'all. Miami Dolphins got the second toughest. Of course, looking at the strength of the schedule and looking at the teams that they have to play, Chicago Bears being one of them, and that's gonna be in Miami. Uh, I believe that's gonna be in Miami. I don't have that part pulled up, but that right there, second toughest. I mean, honestly, is simply because of what they got to play the AFC East, and it pretty much the AFC East besides the Jets. The Bills, the Patriots, both of them was in the playoffs. The Patriots went all the way to the Super Bowl. So once again, this strength of schedule is only based upon wins and losses of teams that they will be facing from last year. So the wins and losses from last year of the teams that they'll be facing this year. That's exactly what it is. Arizona Cardinals, of course, Arizona Cardinals had the third pick of the draft. They had one of the worst records last year, and now they have to go up against teams like San Francisco, Seattle, LA Rams. That's in their division. They got to face them twice right there. Um, then of course, they have. Let me go into it and actually look at this. I'll do it like that, so that way we can make sure that we get y'all exactly what it is. To give y'all exactly the schedule for them. If I can get it up. Okay, here we go. And while we were waiting on that, man, Buffalo will be playing their first game in their new stadium week 3. That part is being posted out as well. They'll be playing it in their new stadium week 3. So that's going to be exciting as well for them. I want to see how me being in the construction trade, I want to see how that stadium turned out. I didn't get to see it. Okay, so home opponents, they have Philadelphia, Washington, Denver, the Raiders, LA Rams, San Francisco, Seattle, the Jets, and Detroit Lions. So right here we got Philly, Denver, Seattle, San Francisco, LA Rams. Like I said, they faced them twice. Seattle being the champs. So that's why they're probably the number 3 as far as the strength of schedule. That's the only reason why I can see that. Yeah, that's honestly the only reason why I can see that right there. Uh, they not showing anything as far as who they play as far as away. And I'm not going into their app, they TikToks. All that ain't as important right there. Uh, Next, who else? Of course, they got Green Bay as number 4. We ain't even got to talk about the Cheeseheads, man. FGB Mafia all day. That's how we do that. But we can as we talked about it, man. That's how it's looking. This is the strength of schedule rankings right now. Bears been having the toughest schedule. So man, what do we really expect from the Bears this year, man? Do we expect them to have the same do we expect them to have the same success? Keep that same success? Do they progress or do they regress? Do we see them going to 11-6 again? Do we really see them going 11-6? Do we see them going less than that? Maybe it's 9-8, 8-9. Can they be in the playoffs again next year? Have with the toughest schedule, can they be in the playoffs again? We got 6-9, like 6-9. We kind of like missing some numbers right there. So it's more like what 6-10, 6-11. Yeah, it's like 6-11. So, do we see them regressing that far back? I mean, last year they had Chicago Bears at over under 6 games anyway. Do you see them winning? Of course, this is FanDuel, DraftKings, things like that. So, do we see them actually having more than that? Do we have them more than 5 games? Maybe 5 games. Maybe less. With the schedule that they'll be facing, like how do we determine where our expectations are? Like, let's be serious. Where let's everybody recoup, bring it down a little bit, and let's go through it. They got the Giants, Green Bay, and Minnesota twice. The only ones that's really the only ones that's really tough is probably Detroit and Green Bay. I don't want to say Minnesota just yet, and I don't want to put Minnesota out because everybody talking about Kyler Murray and how he's not this, he's not a quarterback. We understand that he's the shortest guy that's going to be on the field right now, but at the end of the day, you still have to worry about this man running the ball. Like if he get out the pocket, he's dangerous. He still has a chance to run. So if we decide to play man to man, which I doubt Chicago Bears play man to man that much this year. They played enough last year. I doubt they play it this year. But man to man in Minnesota versus you got Jetta and possibly Kyler Murray in the backfield being the quarterback. How do you really play that? Because you can't sit here and say, okay, everybody turn y'all backs away from the quarterback. And then y'all know my situation, how I feel about the defensive line. Everybody's been talking about this defensive line. So we know that that has not been fixed. So they might not get pressure on him. We don't necessarily know that. But I don't want to sit here and count them out as being a team that could be tough. So, but yeah, Detroit, we know Detroit swept the Bears twice. They swept them last year. So they beat them twice. Green Bay, um, Bears had to come back twice in 2 games versus them. So during the regular season, they won and one. And then, of course, there's the playoff season. Then you got Minnesota. Then you got Tampa Bay, which Tampa Bay lost Mike Evans. I think they lost Bucky Irvin. So, and I believe they lost White too. I'll look it up. I'll let y'all know. So they lost a lot over there. I really don't see Tampa Bay being a threat like that. So I could count that as win. Then we got the Philly game. We beat Philly already. We already held them down and things like that. Do Philly come back and get back? I mean, we got our get back because we were supposed to win and move forward in the playoffs. So now here it is for playing Philly again. I think we take that. Then you got Jacksonville, one of the toughest defense there was last year. Jacksonville Jaguars, they don't get me wrong, they did not really stop players from or teams from scoring, but they was one of the toughest. Like you wasn't just going down the field scoring on them. So, but I really think the Bears can take that win on that. Then you got the New York Jets, and last but not least for a home game, you have uh the New England Patriots. And this is just announced breaking news for the ones that was constantly saying this, right? First week, it is New England versus or I'm sorry, it is Seattle versus New England for the first game. For the first week. I told y'all we would not be playing Seattle. I said that. I said that. That was breaking news. Let me see. It's on NFL. It's on X.com. Y'all can look it up on X.com. It's on that. I am looking. This is what sent to me. So let's make sure. Let's verify this. Hold on. Let me go into my sources and ask them. right, I got my sources telling me whether or not that's a lock or not. So we will definitely find out. But we do have some other games that's been announced, man. Thanksgiving, Giving. That sounds weird. Thanksgiving Eve. We have LA Rams versus the Green Bay Packers. So that's Wednesday, November 25th at 5 p.m. Eastern time. That's a new game right there that's gonna be happening. Um Also Thursday, September 10th, you have San Francisco versus LA Rams, and this will be on Netflix. Then you have Green Bay versus LA Rams, which we just talked about that. Thanksgiving, November 25th. This will be this will be on Netflix. Netflix will also have the Christmas Day, Friday, December 25th game, and week 18, which is Saturday, January 9th. They will have that game, and then, of course, the NFL honors. All right, so this just in from Underdog NFL Shorts. Seahawks will host Patriots in week 1. I'm reading it here. Made a round for 2 touchdowns and incoming. No one wants to see this matchup week 1. Super Bowl rematch week 1 is lame AF. What anyone else says. I don't care what anyone else says. So they are going to have the Super Bowl rematch week 1, which I believe they did that before with Philly and KC. So there you go. There you go. For those that were saying, oh, Seattle will be facing Chicago Bears, no, they won't. So go ahead and you said that I told you so's and all that. There you go. All right, let's continue on with the games that we will be having that is announced. We have international games. All the international games have been announced already. So, London, which is week 5, October 11th, you have Philly versus the Jaguars. That's going to be at like 9 o'clock in the morning Eastern time. Um, you have November 15th, which is week 10, Detroit Lions at New England Patriots. And that is in Germany. That's the Germany game. And then for the first time ever, we got the London game. You have Houston, Texas is going to be playing the Jacksonville Jaguars. That is week 6, October 18th. That's at 8:30 Central Time. 8:30 Central Time right there. So of course we got the Mexico City game, week 11, November 22nd at 7:20 p.m. You have Minnesota versus San Francisco. That game has been announced already. So, man, hey, Jacksonville again got another back-to-back. I believe Jacksonville last year had back-to-back games overseas. They play Philly October 11th, in Totenham, and then October 18th, they play the Texans in Wembley. So the Texans will be playing on the 18th out there versus Jacksonville, and then they will be playing. Oh no, that's Wembley. That's the one that's in London. So Jacksonville has 2 games overseas. The Saints will be playing in Paris. It'll be Pittsburgh versus the Saints. That's October 25th. That's week 7. Week 7, y'all. I'm looking. Oh man, we got Indianapolis Colts versus the Washington Commanders. No. London is calling. I'm trying to find out. October 4th. October 4th. Tottenham Stadium. Got Indianapolis Colts versus Washington Commanders. That one is out already. So that is week 4. That one is week 4. Of course, the ones that overseas is like 9:30 in the morning, 8:30 in the morning, things like that. So for some of us, it's gonna be 10:30 in the morning. Just or not 10:30, 7:30 in the morning. Just gotta wake up early and watch them games. So, but yes, we have all the international games as well. So you have San Francisco. Okay, this is what I was talking about. September 11th, which is Australia time. September 10th, which is the US time. You have San Francisco versus LA Rams. That is week 1. So, yes, that is a Wednesday, week 1. We have that game. That game will be in Australia. San Francisco versus LA Rams, September 10th. You have to watch it on September 10th. Australia is like they ahead a whole 1 day ahead. So that's September 11th for them. Then Rio out there in Rio, you have Baltimore versus Dallas. That's week 3. That's September 27th. Then in London, you have Indianapolis Colts versus Washington Commanders, October 4th. You have Philly versus Jacksonville, October 11th. Texas versus Jacksonville, October 18th. You have those. The first 2 games is in Tottenham. Then you have the last game, which is the Texas one, is in Wembley. Then you have the Paris game, which is the Pittsburgh Steelers versus the New Orleans Saints, October 25th. Then you have the Madrid game, that's Spain. You have that game is Cincinnati versus Atlanta Falcons. That's week 9, November 8th. Then you have the Germany game. You have New England versus the Lions, week 10, November 15th. And Mexico City, which is the last one that they have announced right now, which is Minnesota versus San Francisco, week 11, November 22nd. Those are the games that they have for the international games already announced. So yeah, I'm just trying my best to look to make sure that nothing else is popped up. But man, some of those games definitely sound exciting to watch. But as we all know, if you all looked at the history and go back and pay attention to the history of those games, those be the most boringest games. Like how should I really explain it? Not necessarily boring as far as like you're gonna fall asleep, but boring isn't like it's just too early for them guys. Everybody's jet lag. That's all that it is. They jet lag. So that's how I feel these games are gonna be anyway. The only game that's probably gonna be decent or that's gonna be exciting, and that's because Jacksonville is already gonna be overseas, is probably that second game, that Texas versus Jacksonville. But Jacksonville is they're gonna have that they're gonna have a advantage because they're already gonna be in London. They're gonna be in London for a week already. So I don't necessarily feel that that's like, the best competition for Houston, but for us as NFL fans and football fans, or however y'all may say it, I feel that that game right there, Jacksonville should take that, and it's gonna be a little bit more exciting than any of these other games. Like you got to maybe that San Fran LA Rams game. They might be there for a whole week beforehand, doing a practice, going through drills and stuff out there in Australia, and it should be decently hot out there. Not like extremely hot, but decently hot. So they should be decent. That game might be a little bit exciting, just a little bit. Not a lot, just a little bit. And also looking it up, it was brought to my attention. They have the Bears over under 8.5. 8.5 is the Bears over under. So they not necessarily overdoing it for the Bears. They do expect them to win more than 6, but I mean, let's dig deep into it, man. We just talked about it for the Bears competition. So we went over the home games. We went over the home games. Let's see these away games. Away games, of course, we got Detroit, Green Bay, and Minnesota. Those are the first away games, or not first away games, but those are our division games. Then we have to see Buffalo Bills, Miami Dolphins, which I was right. We do play Miami in Miami. Atlanta Falcons, North Carolina or Carolina Panthers, and Seattle Seahawks. The away games that could be tough is the Buffalo Bills game. That's definitely a tough game. No matter if it was here or it was there, it's gonna be a tough game. I mean, they pretty much have everything that they want. They new coaching, so looks like the same offense though, new head coach, but it's pretty much the same offense. Seattle, we're looking at new players in Seattle. I don't think Charbonnet will be back. Well, just depends on where it drops in the I'm sorry, depends on where it drops in the schedule. He may be back, he may not be back. Of course, that's Kobe Bryant. That's his home going right there. He'll be back in the 12-man stadium going up against them in Seattle. So Kobe Bryant, that may be a little emotional for him because also that's him getting his ring or however they may do it for him in Seattle. You know, what else they lost? They lost Kenneth Walker the third. They MVP, they Super Bowl MVP over there. So only thing that they really have is JSN. They still got Donald. Uh, that's pretty much it, right? I mean, as far as names that was being names, that's pretty much it. The Minnesota one, we talked about Minnesota, Green Bay, Green Bay, we'll take care of them. Y'all know how that go. FGB Mafia, Detroit Lions, they swept us last year. We gotta have our get back. So we need both of those games. We gotta take care of Green Bay. So FGB Mafia, Minnesota, I'm not counting them out, but we should be able to at least get one game. So once again, though, we have already announced the first one of the week one games is the Super Bowl rematch, Seattle Seahawks versus New England Patriots. We have definitely said that, so y'all make sure that y'all tune in for that. Also, week one, we talked about as well, which is the very first game of the week, which will be Wednesday, San Francisco at LA Rams. And as I was talking to y'all about this, right? I had this just a minute ago. I definitely just had this up a minute ago. Week one, Cowboys at Giants. And I said, this could be a division week, right? I said, not everybody's going to have a division game. We know the NFL doesn't work like that, but everybody uh that was already in here listening should already know week one will be a division game. Guess what? Cowboys at the Giants. That's a division game. Then if we look, the game that's before that, because that's Thursday night game. That's a Thursday night game. The Wednesday game, which is the game for Australia, San Francisco versus LA Rams. That's a division game. I called that out for y'all already. Y'all gotta pay attention. Pay attention to how the NFL does, man. It's that simple. Pay attention to how the NFL does. Of course, they're gonna have the Seattle Seahawks versus the New England Patriots because every year or every other year, the first game of the or not first game of the week, but week one matchup is the Super Bowl rematch. They will always have that. It may not be week one all the time, but they're always gonna have it. New Philly faced KC both times. Both years that they played each other in the Super Bowl, they faced them again the following year. It wasn't necessarily week one, but y'all have to pay attention to that. That's how I knew for a fact Seattle wasn't gonna be facing the Bears. I said that. But there you go. It's been announced that Seattle will be facing the Patriots week one. which goes to say I think that we could be facing Seattle possibly week 3. I think we may face them week 3. So moving on down though, back down to this schedule toughness and to continue talking about who the Bears may face, or we know who they will face, but how this may play out for the Bears. Let's see. Detroit Lions. Going off of last year, they were swept. So that's 2 losses. If they counted it like that, Green Bay, it was split 1-1 during the regular season. So that makes it 1-3. Minnesota, I believe it's split. So that was 2-4. Then you got Tampa Bay. I don't see them losing against Tampa Bay. So that's 3-4. New Orleans Saints. I don't see them losing against New Orleans Saints. That's 4-4. Philly, we beat Philly already. So if we going off of the past facts, that's 5-4. Jacksonville, one of the toughest defense, as I talked about. But we have an explosive offense that can really keep up. We have a decent defense as long as everybody can stay on the field and not get injured. So I'm going based off that. That's 5-4. The Jets 6-4. We're not even gonna talk about that 6-4. Uh, Miami Dolphins has lost their receivers, which this isn't the way game. But Miami Dolphins have lost their receivers. So that's 7-4 right there. Um, let's see. New England Patriots. How can we go about this one here? Do we say New England Patriots were flukes last year? Do they make it to the playoffs this year? Hmm, that's a good question. But as far as facing the Bears, as long as Caleb Williams come with that chip on his shoulder, like, hey, look, Drake May, you was the first one out of our draft class, to make it to the Super Bowl. You lost, you didn't win it, but you was the first one out of our class as far as quarterbacks to make it to the starting quarterbacks to make it to the Super Bowl. So therefore, I gotta beat you. As long as he goes in with that type of chip on his shoulder, like I gotta beat him. He made it to the Super Bowl before me. They should beat the Patriots. Um, Depending, of course, where the time schedule should be. Hopefully, they facing them a little bit early, but yeah, they should beat the Patriots. So that's right there. We already at like 8-4 right there. That's 2, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Yeah, 8-4 right there. So last but not least, we have Buffalo Bills. If we going off of how the Buffalo Bills play, I don't know. That one's kind of tough to really talk about. I gotta give it to the Bears on that one because we talking about a new offense. Well, not a new offense, but a new head coach. Do I feel that he is a head coach just yet? I don't know. Hopefully, he don't have the Ben Johnson effect, man. That's what I'm saying. Hopefully, he don't have this Ben Johnson effect. But I don't see them I don't see them beating out the Bears like that, especially, with an explosive offense that we have. And the way that they've been playing, the Bills been playing last year, yeah, they could end up losing. Now, if actually I know when the Bills' first game in their stadium will not be the Bears. So that's a relief. I believe it was the Falcons or something like that. I will look it up for y'all and give y'all the exact. But I think the Bears could possibly be their first loss in their stadium. I like that right there. And then Seattle Seahawks. So what we was 8-4, that's the ninth win right there. And okay, Seattle Seahawks, that's an up or down, depending on when we play them. So with going into that, I feel that Seattle Seahawks possibly Well, it's hard to win in that stadium, man. I'm not gonna lie, it's hard to win in that stadium. I gotta get it to Seattle on that one. And it's not because they're the championship champions or anything like that. It's simply because it's hard to play out there in Seattle. So right now we at what 9-5. We got the Carolina Panthers. Come on, man, 10-5. So 2, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 games. 14 games, and I'm going off of last year. So we got I got 14 games out of the way. That's 2 losses. That's a loss. And that's a loss. 2, 3, 4, 5. That's 5 losses. 6. Right, 5 losses. Needs the last two that. Yeah, I said, come on, man. That's exactly what I said. I said, come on, man. It's Carolina Panthers, man. They weren't flukes last year, but they got it in with just over a 500 record. They got in. They was over there praying to get into the playoffs. And if it wasn't for the New Orleans Saints beating the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, they wouldn't even been there, man. So, with that being said, I gotta say the Bears gonna win that one. The Bears definitely gotta win that one. And then, last but not least, the Atlanta Falcons. The Atlanta Falcons shocked a lot of people last year and beat teams that they weren't supposed to beat, which means they aren't, no lay down team. So at the end of the day, my sneaky team is gonna be Atlanta. I'm picking the Bears to win this, but that does not mean Atlanta is just gonna lay down and Atlanta is just gonna be these underdogs throughout the whole season. So how do I see it? I 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. I got 11 wins. I got 11 wins for the Bears. And that's going off of last year's schedule. They lost twice to Detroit. So that's 2 losses right there. They lost once regular season to Green Bay. So that's another loss. That's 3 losses. Minnesota, I believe they split. So that's 4 losses and 1 win. Tampa Bay, they lost a receiver and a running back that they really need. That's like the core of their offense right there besides Baker Mayfield. So I say that's a win. Matter of fact, we just gonna say NFC South, we sweeping them. So that's 4 teams right there. So that's 1, 2, that's 5 wins right there. That's 5-4. Buffalo, I say that we giving them their first loss in their stadium. That's 6-4. Miami, they ain't got no receivers. All they got is Devin McCain or A Chain, however you want to say. That's what 8-4. And then Seattle. I gave it to Seattle. So that's what 8-5. That's 13 games. What games am I missing? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, that's 5 losses, and the rest of them we should win, man. So out of 17 games, we should be 12-5. Beat Green Bay. Actually, I'm gonna say 13-4 because I want them to beat Green Bay twice. But what I'm saying is 12-5. What I'm saying is 12-5, y'all. So that's exactly how it is. You know how it is. It's FGB Mafia. We definitely not worried about them. They lost Romeo Dobbs, Christian Watson. He blown out knees. He can't stay on the field. So Green Bay gonna be swept. Minnesota is the only team that's sneaky. Minnesota is the sneaky team. So look, I got 3 sneaky teams throughout this NFL season. Not necessarily for this game. One of them is for this game though. Minnesota Vikings will be the sneaky team for this game. That's the only one that's for this game. They the only they sneakiness is only for the Chicago Bears. Simply because that first game is gonna be like, hey, how do we defend the run game with Kyler Murray and his pass game. He might not be able to pass like that, but at the end of the day, you still gotta watch out for him. I mean, Jettas get open, then what? What you gonna do then? You know, or and we not even gonna talk about defending the tight end. It seems like we can never defend him. So that's how I feel about that. Moving on into the next one, Detroit. Detroit is definitely the hardest one to win. But the next sneaky team throughout the NFL that I feel is gonna be sneaky is the uh Atlanta Falcons. Atlanta Falcons is gonna be real sneaky, man. So I'm looking into that like, ugh. I don't think that, like I said last year, they beat teams last year that they shouldn't have beaten. Yo, Uncle, welcome in, welcome in. They beat teams last year that they should not have beaten. Had to get the right account. I feel you. But Atlanta beat teams last year that they should not have beaten. Well, that on paper they should not have beaten, right? That makes them the sneaky team for this year. They really didn't lose that much. And they had like a maybe a C minus for the draft or something like that. I'm not too sure. But you can't count out Atlanta. I mean, look at how they did, how things went in the NFC South. Like three of them was tied for first place, and I believe they were up there at one point. Like they were at first place at one point. So, and matter of fact, they added on quarterback. That's right, they added on quarterback. I appreciate Hallis for letting me know on that. Appreciate you, brother. Yeah, they might have gotten better on at quarterback. I don't know. You know, we'll see how that goes out. Another injury prone quarterback, but he has been working on staying away from concussions. We'll see how that works out for them. Um, and then the last sneaky team, which it was brought out, and I gotta throw it out there for my girl Ashanti, the Carolina Panthers. Carolina Panthers, hey man, as long as I think they did re-sign Rico Dottle. So as long as they kept Rico Dottle, Chuba Hubbard, we know they got Tetra for another what 2 years, 3 years, something like that. Possibly 4 years with the fifth year option type stuff. So yeah, they definitely could get into the as long as Young keeps the progression that he had after he was benched. He got benched, came back, and it seemed like they were just winning games and coming back and doing craziness. Like it was just craziness. So, for whoever's over on TikTok, whatever message you just tried to send, it got filtered. So whoever that was, appreciate that daily check in. So once again, though, that's how I feel with the Bears, man. I'm looking at it possibly 12-5, and of course, I'm going off of last year's wins and losses versus the division, and then I'm looking at teams like Tampa Bay, New Orleans Saints, Falcons, and Carolina Panthers. Of course, you know that I say that's 4 wins already. Seattle, because we're playing in Seattle, I say that's a loss. Buffalo, I feel we give them their first loss. And Miami, they really don't have an offense anymore. They don't even have an identity anymore. So that should be a win. Then New Orleans Jets at Soldier Field. Yeah, come on, man. They got to come into Soldier Field. They should easily beat on New York Jets. The Patriots should beat on the Patriots. I feel that they making it to the NFL was fluke. Man, people they saying Carolina's trash. They not gonna be anything next year. Oof. Kind of tough talks right there, man. Kind of tough talks. But okay, okay. Once again though, I think that they gonna be sneaky, man. Looking at I'm thinking of New Orleans. Looking at Carolina, they could end up being sneaky. I feel that they gonna beat Tampa Bay and they gonna beat New Orleans. As far as beating Atlanta, I don't know about that one. They might get swept. They might get swept by Atlanta. New Orleans is gonna be tough for them to beat New Orleans, but I feel that they could beat New Orleans. But they did just get ETN, and we don't know how that's gonna play out with ETN and Alvin Kamara over there. And they got Olave. I forgot about Olave, but he kind of like fluke anyway as well. He don't get the ball as much as he should. Let's see who they have at Let's see who they have at quarterback. You say nah, not swept. Yeah, I don't know. I think that they take Tampa Bay and sweep them out. I think they should, on paper, right now on paper, from what we looking at, they should sweep out for New Orleans. Atlanta, they should split. Miami is probably gonna be the last of the last when it comes to NFL games. Like once again, they have no identity. They have no quarterback over there. Let's be honest. And I know, yes, they're NFL players. They get paid to do this, and they picked up whoever they picked up. He's a no name to me. He hasn't been doing anything. He's a no name to me. So therefore, I feel Miami has no identity. They don't have any wide receivers over there. I mean, we know Cheetah's gone. They cut him. They traded Waddle. So man, let's be serious. Buffalo Bills, they having a crisis as well. Let's not forget, they owner went out and was like, "Hey, we really didn't want to draft this guy. I don't want to throw out those names, but we didn't want to draft this guy, Josh Allen. Whatever he had going on with his ankle or foot, he should be back playing good and things like that. But and you all just got a brand new stadium. Like that might be a lot of these teams that just got brand new stadiums that's playing next year in that stadium. They could be jinxed. They could definitely be jinxed. So for my Panthers prediction, they definitely I say that they're gonna have um maybe the same 8 and 9, 9 and 8, somewhere in that. I don't feel that they progress because they toughness, as we can see, got a little bit up there. They're in the top 10 as far as toughness, strength of schedule toughness right there. So they actually the 10th toughest team right now. Or they have the 10th toughest schedule right now. So that's what I feel as far as they yeah, I'm taking guess. You can definitely come on up, man. Here we go, man. Let's welcome in Uncle Hallis. Yo, nah, I really wasn't. I'm trying to push out the podcast type of thing right now. So, uh, you feel me? But I'm definitely taking in any guests and everything. I feel that they not that they it's hard for them to beat, but I don't feel that they're gonna sweep them. I feel that they're gonna split it 1-1 and things. That game is which one? I believe that is the Paris game. That's the Paris game. Yeah, it's Paris. Let me see. You got the Pittsburgh and Saints in Paris, and you have um, where is it at? The Saints. Oh wait, no. Where is it at? I was just reading it. The Falcons. Oh, Madrid. It's in Madrid. They playing Cincinnati. They yeah, it definitely is. We could definitely go to that one. Let's see. We got Atlanta, Miami, Carolina. Those are like the biggest ones. Because I think we said we not doing the Bills, right? No, 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 no. The Bears would not. The Bears would not be facing Seattle for Week 1. The Week 1 game for Seattle is a Super Bowl rematch. It is Seattle versus the Patriots. You think the Packers? See, I don't think that they're gonna open up against the Packers. I think that that's like a Week 6, Week 7, Week 8 game. Simply because you want you. That's one of the oldest rivals, so you want everybody back for that game. Michael Parsons not gonna be back, type things, you know. So I don't feel that that's gonna be that Week 1. If we going off of what I presented, right? So the first week, we have the very first game is San Francisco and the LA Rams, and that is in Australia. That is Wednesday. Right. That's what I'm saying, right? And then you got the Cowboys and the Giants the very next day. So Wednesday, we got San Francisco and we got LA Rams. Thursday, we got Cowboys and the Giants. I feel that this is a division game. No, I'm talking about for the Bears. I think the Bears is going to face somebody like me. I want to say they face Minnesota for the very first game, or they might face Detroit. It's gonna be one of those games. It ain't gonna be Minnesota. And that's the one that I think it is, especially with Detroit sweeping. So, and I'm going based off what I'm looking at. We got it's always right. It's always something like that. Right. So I feel it. I feel it could be Detroit for us. Like that'll be the biggest matchup, especially with Detroit being one of the top tier teams that was, for the past couple of years, and now the Bears taking over as the top tier, being the division champs. So that's why I think it'll be that. No, I'm going off. I'm looking at it like that. Looking at how it's Week 1. You got this division game. You got the NFC West division game. I think it's an NFC North division game. Like I think there's at least one division game for every for every right every division. It's gonna be at least one. So and then on Monday you got KC versus Denver. So that's already three confirmed Week 1 division games. You say you want to open up against the Packers, huh? Yeah, man. I mean, don't get me wrong. To me that's more exciting, but still to go up against Detroit and to take them out that very first game, that'll be exciting as well too. Like, yeah, we got y'all swept us. We gotta get back. We gotta get a get back. That first game, go and put some blood out there on them. Like, come on, man. That's why I think we make it exciting. Anybody but the Vikings. How do you feel about the Bears versus the Vikings, though? Do you feel that that could be? I think that that could be one of those games where it'd be like, because new quarterback back there at the Rams. Well, I'm just saying in general. How do you feel about them, though? Think they still last in the division? The Packers or the? Nah, I don't think that they did either. Mm, I think that was just luck, man. I'm not gonna lie. I think that was just luck. Yeah, right, right. But see, that's everybody knew that the Vikings, I mean Detroit had Chicago's number. Like you got some of the fastest receivers on the team. In the NFL. We can say it like that. Some of the fastest receivers in the NFL. You know, St. Brown, he's like a almost a for sure lock when it comes to catching the ball. And then you got J Mo, which at the time all you had to do was make sure he get open and behind the defense and throw him the ball. Just throw it out there, and he's gonna catch and go. He's gonna get you at least 50 yards each catch. So man, we got the one of the tough schedule though. Mhm. Not those comeback games like they was having. Okay. Like when they win and they actually gonna win. Like when you look at them games and be like, oh yeah, they won that 38-20 type stuff, you know? Biting the nails and I mean, I hope they do. I can't be sitting here. Hey, I can't be sitting here buying TVs, man. Not this year. I can't be buying TVs this year. I spent too much money on TVs last year. Yeah, I broke a couple TVs. Hey, and a lot of but look, a lot of those games though, we came down to like that last minute where it was like, man, F this, they finna lose because of this. You see what I'm saying? It's like a minute 20 left. It's like, all right, minute 20 left. Is fourth down and they going for it, or it's 50 something seconds left. 28. Well, I say as long as Austin Booker came out and played as good as he did the last games when he came back with those the games that we got to see him, as long as he played like that and not get sucked into them hook blocks, the letting that outer edge, as long as he doesn't get those done, he's gonna be a successful defensive end. Um, there's definitely a fight. They got Dio still. Everybody with this motivated Dio BS that's going on. Like I hate that, but I don't think that he gonna be around too longer. I hope that's what it is because right, everybody was throwing that out. Right. So I just feel I don't I don't I don't put Dio in that conversation. Like we got Contavious Sweat or Contavious Street, A Book. We got him. So I between them two alone, I feel that there's good competition. I'm still mad they didn't get the defensive end, but looking at what they picked up as far as what's his name? Vanberg, Dylan, and then going into the undrafted free agents and everything, Malik Muhammad, like them picking up those, I'm kind of like relaxed a little bit, you know. I don't think that he's gonna have a chance to. Like, I think his production or his time on the field is gonna be lowered. That side is gonna be rotational. So, oh, no doubt he's gonna be on the field. He's gonna have to be on that field simply because you got to think about this. You got Sweat. He's gonna have his time where he has breaks, and then have a constant rotation with A Book and Streets and everybody that's over there. Like we got four of them over there now, so you got a constant rotation with that. Like somebody got to be in. So I believe, yeah, he's gonna get reps. He's gonna definitely get reps, but I don't see him getting as much as he should have been getting like how he should have been getting last year if he wasn't hurt. That's all I'm saying with that. Why you say that? Yeah. 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 That's true. That's definitely true. You think it was? Oh well, yeah. He was a waste of pick. He was a fourth round pick. Yeah. Yeah, man. I'm definitely gonna be on tomorrow as well. You know the release. So I'm gonna try my best to open it up where all of us we can do our thing, man. Because I know you're gonna be on, right? So what's that? Yeah, the Bears are always hush hush. They never put out anything. They always hush hush. You hear everybody else. You hear everybody else's stuff. Oh wait, right. They did speak of something like that, didn't they? In Detroit, right? See, that's another reason why I don't think that the Bears gonna face Detroit the first week now. Hold on, wait. No, wait. November to nah, they still face them first week. They gonna face them first week. Yeah, go ahead, do what you gotta do, brother. All right, man. Always. Hey y'all, we got another update as well. I got you. Hey, we got another update, man. Another Thursday night in the okay, here it is. Lions versus the Bills in the first ever game at the new Highmark Stadium, September 17th. It's a Thursday night game. Lions versus the Buffalo Bills, September 17th. So there we go. That's the one that I was looking for. I don't feel that the Lions are gonna give them their first loss, man. I think it's got to be the Bears. The Bears got to give them their first loss there. Thanksgiving, we got the Eagles versus Dallas. So that's November 26th. We talked about a little bit of those. So make sure, of course, you know that's the Turkey Bowl. Dallas has always been in the Turkey Bowl. I'm actually kind of tired of watching them on Thanksgiving, man. I'm honestly tired of watching them. And then they have a video. If y'all go over to X, they have a video and look up the Chicago Bears. They have a video of everybody predicting who they home opener will be, and everybody's saying the Bucks, yo. Everybody is saying that everybody that's on the Bears, everybody that's on the Bears are saying the Bucks. You got a couple of people that's saying, you know, the Jets and things like that and stuff. And then if somebody say Green Bay, I don't know why. Somebody says it's gonna be Detroit. But we're talking about home openers. We're talking about home openers. Then so it's split between for the Bears, how they picking. Caleb said it's gonna be the Buck uh the the Bucks. He said I'm going Bucks. Somebody said the Patriots. Two people, three people said the Patriots. Said what if it's Green Bay FGB? The Patriots or the Bucks. So hey, week 3 or week 4, that's exactly what they saying. Go over there to X and look at that, man. Should go look up the Chicago Bears on X, and they got who they believe will be they home opener, not the very first game, the home opener. Hey man, I told y'all I'm excited, man. It's football. It is football. Also, don't forget, man. Yeah, over on X, over on X. Don't forget, man. I also announced David Njoku is now a LA Charger. He is now a LA Charger, man. He signed the 3-year deal to be a LA Charger. Juwan Jennings is also a Minnesota Vikings. That gives a lot of help for Jettas. That gives a lot of help. Hey, Unc, I don't know if you still in here, Unc. I don't know who all still in here, man. Listen, 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 listen. Juwan Jennings is now a Minnesota Vikings. Kyler Murray, a Minnesota Viking. This is why I say I cannot throw Minnesota out like that. I can't say Minnesota is just going to be the bottom of the. Well, I believe they bottom of the barrel, but Minnesota is just going to sit here and lay down and let the Chicago Bears sweep them. I don't see it, man. I see that being a split 1-1. I see that being a split 1-1. Yeah, Juwan Jennings is a Minnesota Viking. Kyler Murray is a Minnesota Viking, and they still got Jetta. David Njoku is a Charger. Like, come on, y'all. Come on, y'all. Ah, man. They say the top games of the 2026 season: LA Rams versus the Seattle Seahawks, KC versus the Bills, Green Bay versus Chicago, which is number 3. They have that as number 3. Pittsburgh versus Baltimore, Buffalo Bills versus the Patriots, San Francisco versus LA Rams, Denver versus the Patriots, KC versus Seattle, Baltimore versus Cincinnati, and then last at top at the last 10th spot is the Patriots versus Seattle, which we know is the first game of the year. You say good riddance. So yeah, man. I ain't gonna lie. I cannot wait for this. I'm just y'all just don't know how I am about football, man. I'm really excited about football. Let's get it. Let's get it, man. Football season is around the corner for me. Football season is around the corner. Hey, and I believe earlier this week, May 11th, Ben Johnson's birthday just passed. Also, Brees Hall is continuing his career with the New York Jets. He just signed the 3-year, $45.75 million extension. So get that money, brother. Get that money. But yeah, y'all, that is all the news that I have for y'all right now. If anything else pop up, please believe that I will be on here. I'll post. I'll do everything that I can. But man, I am excited for this scheduled release, which is tomorrow. Tomorrow, 7:30. We will be live, y'all. We will be live. Come kick it with us. Come talk about your team, about who they will be facing, who y'all want, what tickets that y'all possibly will be going to see. So let's see how that's gonna go, man. I appreciate each and every last one of y'all for joining in with me and things. Y'all make sure that y'all take it easy, and y'all know how we end it. We gonna end it with a bear down.